everybody, and welcome to another edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host, and I thought we'd go ahead and take a look or watch another film, this time also directed by Paul Wenz. I did check out, the previous film I did watch on the channel was The Vampire Assistant Circus Shafreak. Now we're taking a look at a dramedy, also directed by Paul Wenz. It came out earlier, also in the 2000s. This has Hugh Grant, Dennis Quaid, Mandy Moore, Willem Dafoe, all star in American Dreamz. Now, American Dreamz was released in 2006. And it basically stars, like I said, it stars those four actors. But it also has Marcia Gay Harden, Chris Klein, Jennifer Coolidge. It also has Seth Meyers. Might be one of the first movies, and maybe the only movie that Seth Meyers ever made that I will cover on the channel. Yeah, American Dreamz. I'm going to get this out of the way. Paul Wenz, really good director. Really, I like a lot of his stuff. Like I said, Vampire Assistant Circus Shafreak is probably his best movie. I do apologize, guys. Let me just move that out of the way. I should have had this prepared. But anyways, American Dreamz. Let's actually talk about this film. So, basically it centers around Mandy Moore. No way. It centers around Hugh Grant. He hosts a sort of American Idol called American Dreamz. Dreams with a Z, I forgot to mention. So, he's the host of that. So, he basically, this host. So, it turns out, let me move that out of the way. Okay. So, it turns out he's the host of American Dreamz, and Mandy Moore won the contest to go on the show. So, we get another guy who comes on there. I don't know who the actor's name is that portrays Omar. I think his name is. Mandy Moore plays Sally, and she got on the show. She's one of the contestants that got picked. So we also get Dennis Quaid, who plays the president, who basically, the president is he's a George W. Bush ripoff. Basically, he's essentially George W. Bush in this movie. He's from Texas. He wears the cowboy boots. Could be Texas, could be Wyoming. I don't know. So, he's the president. So, in real life show American Dreamz, then we got the terrorists, the Taliban, who the one guy he's big into dance numbers and shows, and he's dancing to musical numbers on a record that he found, record player. So the terrorists are not pleased with him deciding to go basically get on the show. So one of the terrorists just smashes the record. So that's one part. He eventually gets to California where he meets up with Mandy Moore. Mandy Moore dates a guy played by Chris, I think it's Chris Klein? Yeah, Chris Klein. Maybe it's Chris Klein? I don't know. But basically, dang it. Let me just, give me a second, guys. So basically, he dates a girl, but turns out she's dumping him. But once she got dumped, he basically enlists in the army and he heads off to Iraq. So he's so excited he's in Iraq. He's got a tattoo of her right there. So he's got a tattoo of her right there and basically wants to be in love with her. So basically, he then eventually goes off to Iraq. And it's like, it's my first day in Iraq. And all of a sudden he gets shot in the arm by one of the terrorists. So he gets shot. He comes back to America, did his time in service, says, I want you to marry me. But basically filmed it. Seth Meyers plays the executive producer of the show, meets up with her. She basically falls in love with Hugh Grant's character, so the boyfriend's not pleased. The ending is really good. Willem Dafoe plays, I think, Secretary of State, or maybe VP. They don't really explain. They don't explain that. So, yeah. I try to think what else to mention. So, like I said again, they made the president out to be, yeah, they make the president out to be bad. Essentially, he's just George W. Bush in this movie. This movie was came out in 2006 when Bush was still president. W was still a president at the time this movie was being made and coming out. And I'm going to say this right now that I mention that, I do like how that is. Mandy Moore is an incredible singer. Talk about a singer right there. She actually sings it. It's not like fake crap, like send in a standee or someone who has a better singing experience. No, she actually sings and she does a great job. Mandy Moore is great in anything. I have another Mandy Moore film, which is Because I Said So, also coming out that same year. I might cover that on the channel, but as it stands, talk about performance. Mandy Moore is fantastic. The whole cast is fantastic. This overall is a good movie. I don't want to say this movie's great, but this is good. If I had to do an honorable mentions list, this would probably be on it. The big complaint is it kind of gets a little dull near the end. Like, the end is really good. It has a very downer of an ending. I mean, it's a really downer. I'm not going to give away that. You just got to watch it for yourself and figure that out. Although Willem Dafoe balding looks a bit off. I don't like the hairstyle Willem Dafoe has for his character. Plus, he has sort of a big old beer gut. I guess the writers wanted to do a Dick Cheney. So, essentially, he's sort of like a Secret Service guy crossed with Dick Cheney. At the time of this movie came out, W was president. But I think I mentioned everything that I said about this movie. There's some great singing in it. Jennifer Coolidge plays her mom in it. But there's also a small role by Roastmaster Jeff Ross. He's in it, which is also weird. And funny enough, he did the same type of cameo in Rocky and Bullwinkle, a movie I cover on the channel. So I had that sort of thing. So I wanted to kind of bring that up, since this is a Universal channel. Kind of wanted to bring that up, though. But yeah, I think I mentioned everything. Like I said, really good performances. I do think this is a movie that Mandy Moore is incredible. The ending's really good. It has a downer of an ending, but it's a satisfying ending because it shows you where they're now, but I don't want to give away the ending. This is where I don't want to give away the ending. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the artwork, or the cover art. I do like this. I think the poster art's much better, in my opinion. I looked at the poster art and I thought that was really good. But yeah, not much in the way of special features. I did watch 2 special features. Center Stage, Sally Kendu. That was Mandy Moore's character. Mandy Moore is your personal host throughout the process of becoming a pop princess on the American Dream set. Essentially, she stays in character. This is more of a fake featurette. It's not like a making of featurette where you interview the whole entire cast. Dance Dreamz is where they do interview a few of the cast. They talk about the choreography. The dancing's really good in it, though. And you get the lead scenes and the commentary by director Paul Wentz and actor Sam Galazaria. That's this guy right here. He played Omar. That's the only reason why I know, because on the back. So yeah, there's not much there. I don't know why I'm showing the disc. There's just not much. Kind of like the red with the silver clear disc art. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say. So, before I go on with the final verdict, I'm going to mention a couple of I'm going to mention a couple of things. This will go to the final verdict. The question is, and here's where it is, guys. I'm not a fan of, and American Dreamz was trying to be sort of like American Idol or America's Got Talent, but more or less American Idol. But Hugh Grant's trying to be Simon Cowell. I don't really think, I'm not a fan of American Idol. I never liked American Idol. And that's what the movie's trying to be, sort of take a fictionalized version of American Idol. But, and here's the but anyways, let's get to the final verdict. Final verdict. should you see American Dreamz with Z? And the answer is, if you're curious of this film, I will say yes. This is a good movie. If you're not like me, if you're not a fan of American Idol, you're not going to like this movie. I'm not a fan of American Idol, but Mandy Moore's performance is just that good. Mandy Moore is the reason I'm going to recommend this. If there was any other actress like a Jessica Simpson or Britney Spears playing a role, I don't think this would work and it would have been awful. But man, you talk about actress from Mandy Moore, and she is just fantastic. I think out of all the films that she made for the studio, this is great. Dennis Quaid's great. I did cover Dragonheart, which was also Dennis Quaid. I did cover that, and I will say he's good in this. The whole cast, like I said, is good. Willem Dafoe's awesome, and it's just a lot of fun. And for that, this is a good keep. But it just didn't make it on my top list because I didn't like the idea of American Idol, an American Idol ripoff. But talk about the Wentz brothers. They know how to make, they know how to direct movies. They made Love Actually, they made this, they made About a Boy. I will say in terms of films, if you want to watch a movie Paul Wentz direct, just go watch The Vampire Assistant Circus the Freak and you'll have a better time there. I enjoyed that movie more than I enjoyed this. But that's not saying, I don't want to say this is a bad movie. This is a very good film. It's not great. It's not perfect. I thought the ending was a little bit meh. But the performance by Mandy Moore is the sole reason to see this movie. I think she has a great stage premise. She's a heck of a singer. She can act. She's just a star, and I just think it's good. But that's because I kind of grew up with Mandy Moore, so that's probably why I like this movie. But I'm going to stop right there. Thank you guys so much for watching my review of American Dreamz. If you do like this, come back to the channel. And I'm going to tell you right now, I got the internet back. So I'm getting my previous videos uploaded to the world of YouTube. As soon as I get that, you'll see American Dreamz coming up on the channel very, very soon. So, I'm going to bid a good night or a good day or whatever time you're watching this. It's late right now. I'm tired, so I didn't really, I'm very exhausted. So, I'm going to bid a good night to everybody. Like I said again, come back to the YouTube page. Don't go back on Twitter. I'm not going to be on there. Probably not that much. But I don't know. So come back to the channel. Check what else I post up on there. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.